Today, I'm taking this area next to the chicken run and turning it into this. I got a bunch of bananas that need propagating out. The mosquitoes have been driving me crazy down here in the chicken run area, so I'm gonna clear all this out, get rid of the mosquitoes and all the crazy bugs, bring all these different bananas down. We got 5 different types of bananas, 2 different types of jaboticaba, and an ice cream bean all coming into this area. Welcome back to the channel, you guys, and me biting off way more than I can chew. The very first video we did on ice cream bananas here on this channel, I took this one out from another spot and transplanted it up to this area. It's already put out another pup. So this one is one that I'm gonna go ahead and dig up today and be moving into that area that we're working on next to the chicken coop. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this one up, but it just goes to show we're able to transplant it, get another pup off it, and now we're propagating it out. That's part of what I love about bananas. They're just such a cool plant. I never win anything. I swear to God, I just have the worst absolute luck with contests. But I actually ended up winning something off of Instagram. Thanks to fruit hunters out there. I won one of their giveaways for this here ice cream bean. And so because of that, we're gonna change up the entire layout of what we were planning on planting in this area. Instead of bringing in a bunch of different types of bananas and making this like a banana bed going into the chickens, I'm gonna create an ice cream bed focused around this ice cream bean. Now, one of the cool things about this plant is not only will it produce fruit, but apparently it also puts out nitrogen back into the soil for the plants. And so I was thinking that might pair really well with the bananas, not just because of the fact that they both are ice cream bananas, because we're bringing in the blue java or ice cream bananas in today for this area to surround the ice cream bean. But the ice cream bean will also help pump in nitrogen to the ground for very hungry banana plants. So some of them you can see we've been bringing down already. We've got one over here that's not looking that happy, and then the other 2 are looking pretty okay. One I just brought up, I still got to get mulch and stuff over it. And then we've got 2 more flags right here marking out where the other 2 are going to go. Now, got to tell you, the 2 that are coming up from here are coming from a really interesting place, because it's the banana that I've already been digging up pups from. So it's been kind of crazy. This plant has definitely been my healthiest of all the blue javas. It's put out 5 pups so far this year. We're about to go pull out 2 more. So let's go take a look at it, because you just got to see how many pups this thing has put out. It has been insane. Absolutely love this plant. It's my favorite on the property. Not just favorite variety of plant or anything that we have on the property. This particular blue java, absolute favorite plant itself on the property. Let's go check it out. If you've been watching the channel, you can probably tell she's gotten quite a bit taller. It's insane. This is definitely my favorite, definitely my happiest plant on the property. She's just absolutely gorgeous. And I gotta tell you, with the rainstorms, once they come through, because we are now into the rainy season, all the plants around here kind of get this amazing green glow down here in Florida. And this one, because of the blue java, has this kind of bluish tint to it with that glow that is just unlike any other banana or plant that we have here on the property. It is my absolute favorite. I love seeing it outside the windows in the morning after a rainstorm. It's just absolutely incredible. And it's just been a very highly productive one. We haven't been able to get fruit off it yet. You know, it's only been in the ground for 1 year now. This was one of the first plants I put in on the property, and it's put out 1 pup that I've already dug up, and now an additional 4. We got another one back here on the back side as well. But I'm gonna take these 2 of the biggest ones up, and I'm gonna talk to you guys a bit about some of the lessons that I've learned so far about taking bananas out of the ground to propagate them. I think the biggest lesson that I'm learning right now really is kind of be a little patient with the pups. If you take them out too early, I've noticed that the root systems aren't as well developed. They don't take as well. Definitely letting them grow out to this kind of size is where I'm noticing they have the easiest time of being cut out and transplanted. Usually when they've got about, you know, that 3rd set of leaves coming up. No matter which type of banana it's been, that's kind of what I've noticed has been their easiest time transplanting them. It might seem like you want to get them out sooner so that you can save all of the resources to go to the main plant that you're going to want to still have there for fruit later on, and not take away from anything that could go to it. But, you know, as long as you're feeding bananas really heavily and giving them lots of water, you know, I think they'll be okay waiting that extra month. or extra 2 months. I mean, from what I've seen, this one's still growing like crazy. It's putting out pups like crazy. It's giving me plenty of time to let them grow out and have that better shot of being transplanted as I've been experimenting with this. And it just seems that that's the way it kind of works out best for me, is once it's got that 1 set, 2 set, 3 sets of leaves, then all right, go ahead, that's about when I want to take them out. Other thing that I've really been taking into consideration as I've been going through with these bananas is not just, you know, wanting to make sure that the pups have enough time to have the establishment to survive transplanting as much as possible, but also wanting to kind of manage how many pups I'm taking out at one given time. For example, like this blue Java banana, I really kind of want to take all 4 out, move them around, propagate it out, really get those going like now, and have them in the spots that I want them in all together. But the thing that I'm concerned about is right now with us in rainy season, we got a lot of winds that come through here and everything like that. The blue Javas are a really high wind tolerant plant compared to some other bananas from what I understand. And even though that's true, I still want to make sure that I'm not taking away too many pups at one time so that it has enough of a root system there to still anchor itself in well to the ground as we've got these winds coming through and everything. It doesn't get blown over, tipped out, and ripped out of the ground. You know, if I take all 4 out, there's a good chance I'm gonna disturb the entire root system and it won't have any anchor. I take out 1, maybe 2 at the absolute most, and that way I'm making sure that I'm disturbing the main plant as little as possible while I'm propagating it out, so it has the best chance of not only the pups surviving transplant, but the main plant surviving me taking away from it. There's one. Now we gotta get the other one out. This is kind of what I've been talking about. You've seen me do this before. You know, I want this kind of roots coming out of it, at least a few of them. I've got some of these bananas looking a little sad that barely have anything on them, a little nub where I was a little less careless, or a little more careless, and they're struggling. So I want this, is what I'm looking for as I do this. Bad for me, good for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. Like this is what I'm talking about when I say like I mess up or the plant just doesn't, this one, I don't know. If I cut them off, looks like not so much, but it doesn't really have much of a root structure yet. So this one's gonna have a harder time with the transplant. I'm gonna have to keep more of an eye on it, and there's a chance that it might not even survive. But you know, bananas, like I've said many times on this channel, are one of those kind of, I have a hard time killing them. It seems like I am able to bounce them back pretty easily. And so I'm gonna give it a shot with this. Just because I haven't killed one yet doesn't mean I'm not going to, but I still got hopes for this. I got both bananas out of the ground. They need to go in fast to have the best chance at surviving this transplant. So let's get this done as fast as possible. Now that we've got the ice cream bananas in the ground, now it's time to put in our focal point that these bananas all encircle of the ice cream bean that we were able to win from Fruit Hunters. Again, you guys, thank you so much to Fruit Hunters for allowing us to win their contest on Instagram and selecting us as a winner. We were hugely surprised because I never win anything, and incredibly grateful for this one. This is actually a plant that's been on our list of wanting to get for a while. Now, I'm gonna talk to you guys while I put this one in the ground a little bit about kind of why we're doing things in the shade, because I'm sure you're probably wondering, you've seen my bananas all over the property and most of them are in full sun. But one thing that I've been noticing is that quite a few people actually plant their bananas in the shade as well, at least kind of a partial shade. Gives them a little bit of protection and stuff from the elements, and that the bananas actually do kind of enjoy a bit of the dappled lighting. If you notice on some of my banana plants in the videos and stuff that we've shown before, some of them have some browning around the edges and tips or spots on them from where they've gotten sunburnt. And so bananas do and can actually get sunburnt. So the ice cream bean actually really likes this dappled lighting that the oak is going to provide, and the blue Java bananas might actually like it better in here than out in the full sun where people conventionally grow their bananas. So I figure it was a good idea to try and run this experiment, since this one is going to like this type of lighting. These ones are supposed to kind of like this type of lighting as well and handle it. It's just not what people normally do for them. So I'm gonna bring them all into this area, and I just think it's gonna be so cool because the blue Javas, their bananas are supposed to taste like ice cream. Ice cream bean is supposed to taste like ice cream. It's just gonna be really cool to have a bed in my garden that is ice cream flavored, like everything. Now I do have some other plants that are gonna come into this area. A couple Jaboticaba that are growing out in pots right now. They'll come out later. I already have it marked out where they'll be going. They'll be coming in on the back side. We're gonna have a trail kind of going back through here, dividing this bed between where on the right of the trail you'll have all the jackfruit that I planted out from seed that I started back in, I think, December. They've been growing. They've actually been doing pretty well on their own. I have had a really hard time getting back there to check on them because everything's been growing with the summer and the rains and everything, so it's hard to even reach them at this point to take care of them. But they've actually been growing really well on their own without me doing anything. I haven't been able to water them, feed them, nothing. And they're doing fantastic. So once I get it cleared out, we'll show you guys in a later video exactly how they've been doing. Very excited for that. We had 7, one of them did not survive, the other 6 have. So 6 jackfruit trees from seedling. It's pretty cool to me that I was able to grow those just from seed and have them come be on the property. So we got this one in, it's packed in there pretty good. We'll stomp it for good measure. And then we'll get some food around it, some mulch, and we'll drop quite a bit of water on all these plants and get them settled in. Everything's in the ground just the way it needs to be. We got everything covered with a nice top layer. We're gonna go ahead and water it in after we cut the camera, but you know, again, it's kind of cool getting kind of a surprise plant, tweaking some things a little bit. That's why we keep saying adapt, overcome, and improvise. It's one of those things that we just keep having to do. Things change around here a lot of the time, and sometimes it ends up in some really cool opportunities, like being able to take what I thought was gonna be kind of like a banana medley bed, a mix of all the bananas that we have here on the property, all the different types, and it ended up becoming this incredible ice cream bed that over time is going to be something really cool that we're going to be able to see. And I can't wait to try the fruit off of all of these plants and see just how much they actually taste like ice cream. Obviously, not everything around here is perfect just yet, but it's definitely getting easier and things are responding much better. The more organic material we're able to build up on the property to then spread around to all of our plants and share the love with all of them. The chickens have been a huge help on that, and this area is going to be really cool as kind of one of those entrances, or one of the entrance to the side of the entrance. Man, words are hard, but you know, coming up on the entrance to the chicken coop, it's going to be on your left. That explains everything. And this will be part of the entrance to the chicken coop. It'll be a really cool area, so definitely check. Really?
No. Go lay down. Pray. Go to the door now.
And that's why I haven't brought the Jaboticaba down into this spot, because the little bear, he's not really little, but big ass bear, likes to run through this area sometimes. And so, you know, we got to be careful with some of the plants we put down in here. And the ice cream bean should grow pretty quick. He's not running through this spot. That's why it's kind of here with the bananas through. And hopefully the big piles of mulch will help keep him off it. But always something we have to keep in mind is how we keep the dog from trampling the plants, because he's done it to a few of them already. He's a puppy, and he's a big puppy at that. He's only a year old. He's about 80, 90 pounds, somewhere in that range now. So I'm hoping, you know, bringing in some edging around with the logs that I'm cutting off and the branches I'm cutting off on the lower parts of the oaks, or the ones that have fallen. You might be able to see some of the ones that are stuck in there that have been blown off through windstorms and stuff. Use those to try and create some edging around the beds to help make it a little bit more defined, not just for us and the way it looks and make it better for you looking at it on YouTube, but also make it clearer for the dogs to be able to tell that's an area we don't really want them running through like Nico just did. Anyways, as always, check back for the next video where we talk about everything going on the property. We'll do a full summer garden tour update. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button if you enjoyed today's video. Catch you next time. Molnar out.